Hello, my Fly Mickey friends, and welcome to the latest news from the world of Disney. And on this week's episode, Gay Days is back at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim. Single riders, put your hands up, your queues are now open at Walt Disney World. And rainstorms and high winds hamper Disneyland Paris's reopening weekend. Now, before we take a look at this week's update, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and click the bell icon to stay in the know about all things Disney. So first up this week, and Anaheim has announced the return of the Gay Days event coming to the Disneyland Resort. After having to cancel its 2020 event due to the theme parks being closed amid the pandemic, the incredibly popular Gay Days are set to make their return to the Disneyland Resort. Plus, this year the celebrations will also be changing dates and take place on a whole new weekend. Even though it is not an official Disney event, Gay Days have been drawing massive crowds to the Southern California theme parks since the celebrations first began back in 1998. In fact, that very first event attracted only 2,500 guests. But by 2019, there were approximately 30,000 fans flocking to the resort for the weekend-long celebration. As reported by the Orange County Register, this year's Gay Days will be happening from September the 17th through to the 19th instead of its usual October date. This is in a way to try and avoid the massive crowds that come to the theme parks to celebrate the Halloween season at the Disneyland Resort. The OC Register also reported that guests will find the Disneyland event will be typically featuring a scavenger hunt, attraction takeovers on the Mark Twain riverboat, and also the enchanted tiki rooms, and of course the traditional group photo in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle. Plus, lunch plans will be returning as normal and will take place at the Plaza Inn, Alien Pizza Planet, Rancho del Rocalo, and the Hungry Bear restaurants. Now, the DCA event usually involves more ride takeovers like Grizzly River Run, Mickey's Magic, and Silly Symphony Swings, plus a group photo on Pixar Pier, but these have yet to be confirmed, including Bing Bong's Sweet Stuff, which is usually a popular selfie spot throughout the day. In addition to the celebrations inside the theme parks, a number of events will take place outside the parks as well, including cocktail mixers, book signings, and of course, a lot of parties. While Disney doesn't officially host the event, past sponsors have included Alani, a Disney resort and spa, Disney Pride, which has a new collection out this year, and the Disney Vacation Club. So for guests who are looking to travel to Anaheim for this celebratory weekend, you can choose from the on-site hotels or some great deals for off-site hotels as well, but you will still need a park entrance reservation to get onto Disney property. Plus, you will have to wait just a couple of weeks more to book those spots, as currently the resort is only reserving to the end of August at this time. So, Disney Cruise Line have released their itineraries for the fall of 2022, including very special dates that celebrate the Halloween on the High Seas and the Very Merry Time cruises. With 5 ships setting sail in fall of 2022, that's typically from September until December, from different home ports, Disney are excited to offer more ways than ever before for families to make special memories with the Disney Cruise Line fleet. That's said by Thomas Masloom, the president of DCL, in his official statement. Halloween on the High Seas itineraries run from mid-September until the end of October 2022, so be sure to bring your own Halloween costumes and dress up for a spooky fun time with your favourite Disney characters. Because on these sailings you will also find a masquerade party, specialty food and beverages, and even some themed craft activities on board as well, plus the tradition that each ship will be expertly decorated and even outfitted with its own whimsical pumpkin tree, very reminiscent of Sleepy Hollow from Disney's The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Now, for those wishing to embark on one of the Very Merry Time cruises, you'll enjoy elaborate decorations, specialty entertainment, and even a visit from Santa Claus himself. And these sailings will run from early December through to the end of that month. But of course, don't forget that this will be the Disney Wish's first fall season, as the ship is currently set for its inaugural cruise starting summer of 2022. 2022. Itineraries on board the Disney Wish are scheduled to depart from Port Canaveral with 3 or 4 night sailings visiting the Bahamas and Disney's own Castaway Cay. The Disney Fantasy will also have itineraries leaving Port Canaveral on 6, 7 or 8 night sailings, stopping 2 at Castaway Cay on either an Eastern or Western Caribbean cruise. For those wanting a 4 or 5 night Bahamian sailing, the Disney Dream is your ship and will be disembarking from Miami, and the Disney Magic will be sailing out of New York to Bermuda and Canada in late September before sailing out to San Juan, Puerto Rico in early November. Bookings for the general public open on June the 24th this year, with Platinum Castaway Club members and Golden Oak Club memberships being able to start booking from June the 21st. For more information about the sailings and to book your own cruise for the fall of 2022, head over to flymickey.com. So, we were missing the magic, but at last, Disneyland Paris has become the company's final resort to reopen amidst the pandemic. For the first time in 17 months, all the Disney theme parks around the world are fully open and welcoming back the fans in their thousands. And Disneyland Paris was the latest to reopen, welcoming guests back on Thursday, just over a week after France reopened to vaccinated international visitors. Europe's most frequented theme park has been shuttered for nearly 8 months, with a short 2020 opening summer season before being forced to close again. And now DLP fans are eager to get some magic back into their lives, and with their fingers crossed that the parks remain open this time. Wednesday and Thursday last week, the resort opened for annual pass holder preview days only, where the sun shone and the loyal fans got to experience a fresh and vibrant park reopening, with many of the attractions and buildings having had that all-important closure spring cleaning and in places a much-needed repaint. This gave the park the overall sense of something magical and something brand new to go to, even if you'd been to the parks many times before. And then on June the 17th, the resort opened Disneyland Park, Walt Disney Studios Park, Disney's Newport Bay Club Hotel, and the Disney Village to the general public, but they've held back the much-anticipated Disney's Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel, along with the premiere of the new Disney Junior Dream Factory show for just a few more weeks. But guests can once again enjoy the outstanding experiences that Disneyland Paris is known for, from iconic attractions including the all-new Cars Route 66 road trip and some new heartwarming Disney, Pixar, Star Wars and Marvel character moments, all topped off with some unique interactions with cast members and even a few unexpected surprises along the way, like Captain Jack Sparrow appearing outside Captain Jack's restaurant. Natasha Rafalski, president of Disneyland Paris, celebrated the reopening of the popular destination with this following statement: "We are absolutely thrilled to bring the Disney magic back to our guests in the most wonderful way and with enhanced health and safety measures. As the top tourist destination in Europe, I am so proud to see Disneyland Paris play a key role in the reignition of the tourism industry. It is a chapter filled with hope and optimism that we are starting all together, as we believe that the need to dream and share moments of happiness with family and friends have never been so important. Disneyland Paris reopening takes a deliberate approach with enhanced health and safety measures that were successfully implemented last year. As the current government guidelines change, so will Disney, demonstrating their ability to improve the guest experience while prioritizing safety above all else. And while we here at Fly Mickey Travel experienced a beautiful blue sky sunny Friday at the parks, where we took in the sights and sounds, boarded a few much-needed magical thrill rides and admired the beautiful castle, even though it's currently under a scrim for that much-needed renovation for the 30th anniversary, guests who then ventured to the resort on Saturday were greeted with a very different situation by way of a wet and windy storm flooding many parts of the parks and the outer parking structures too, making getting back to their cars an unexpected additional adventure for the Disneyland Paris fans. Still, at the time of recording, it's Sunday and the blue skies have returned and the magic continues. Let us hope more fans can return to the park real soon. So, single rider lines are the latest returning feature to the Walt Disney World Resort. With multiple parties being grouped together and physical distancing coming to an end real soon, WDW will use single rider lines to fill in gaps and increase capacities on rides such as Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run at the Disney Hollywood Studios. As restrictions are eased around America, Disney is slowly bringing back some of the fan favourites that it had to do away with previously. On Thursday last week, for example, the company announced that the popular fireworks shows at Disney World and at Disneyland in Anaheim would resume starting July 1st and July 4th respectively. Disney has been cautious about how it handles the return of beloved elements, while at the same time respecting the realities of the pandemic such as it was, says Tomorrow. We know we have to change, but the one thing we would not compromise on was our storytelling, making sure that any guest who walks through those gates feels the same Disney they've always felt. To do that and to deal with capacity issues, as we know, Disney instituted the new reservation system called Disney Park Pass, where visitors book space in a specific park well ahead of their trip. And it is expected that Disney may decide to keep this system in place going forward, as it allows them to better manage the park's resources. We'll be able to move attendance levels around, guarantee a great experience, plan our labour a bit more appropriately, and plan the attractions more appropriately. This is something that, in some form, will exist as we move forward, again, said Josh Tomorrow. But the Walt Disney World Resort is certainly taking many big steps back to normality, not just with the return of the fireworks and the single rider options, but also with the reopening of the popular vehicle design station inside Test Track, the announcement of the return of Run Disney for the 2022 season, and seeing more hotels like Animal Kingdom's Lodge set to reopen again in the coming weeks. It would appear that the magic is almost fully back at this popular Orlando destination. And finally, Tokyo Disney Resort is extending its operating hours cut and suspension of alcohol sales through to July the 11th. Although the state of emergency in the Tokyo area is set to be lifted on June the 21st, the Oriental Land Company announced today that the park hour cut implemented back in May will be extended once again through to July the 11th. Both Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea will operate from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. until this new date at the earliest. Additionally, ticket sales through to the 11th have been halted. This is to keep park capacity at or around the 5,000 guest limit. Tickets were briefly resold from July the 1st through to the 11th earlier this week under the assumption that capacity would be increased and sold out pretty fast. But the company has applied the brakes to any additional purchases from now. Alcohol sales too will also continue to be suspended through until July the 11th, although new regulations will allow locations to sell alcohol to parties of no more than 2 for no longer than 90 minutes. The Oriental Land Company has determined that it would be near on impossible to manage those requirements at their counter-service locations, and therefore continuing on with the ban. It is expected, though, that park capacity from July 12th onwards is to be increased and capped at 10,000 guests. And that's it for this week's news update. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Fly Mickey Travel, and now join us on the Clubhouse app at the Disney Travel Club so you'll never miss out on those magic moments from the world of Disney. And all that's left to say is have a truly magical day.